to our channel Bamboo Homestead. We've postponed this video for so many times, but we're finally here and we're gonna give you guys a fruit tree tour. And Max is gonna show it to us because he knows it even better because he put them, or most of them he put them in. So let's start.
We're just going to run through the perennials on the property. We're not going to go into any of the annuals, just what we've put in that is here hopefully permanently and will thrive. And the positions, I've chosen this position for, there's a fig, we've got an avocado on the other side, there's a huge stump here, dead, and on the other side here is also a mango. And so, I'm going to have a look at it.
Mango? Fig?
Yeah. I've chosen this particular position because it's on the top of our property. We have a north facing property, so we get plenty of sunshine all the way up to here and all the way down the slope this way. We have, if you have a look, we have a huge canopy of trees, almost like a rainforest next to us. And when we get a lot of rain, it actually comes out in the trees and pools along here, and all along here where we're actually parking as well, acts like almost a small river. So between that and the huge old stump in the ground, it holds a lot of water in it. It should be a great place with the sun for growing most trees, I would imagine. Here we've got our grapes on the side. I've just built a trellis that will have a roof over the top of it. But as I said, the north facing slope, so it gets plenty of sun. Sun down.
Couple of more. Oh, this one, yeah.
There will be a roof on there that also acts as a catchment, and the water comes directly down on top of here onto the grapes. Feeding water in the lemon we have here. This is the mandarin again, placed near the all of the overflow from our water tanks. All of our other catchments are caught here, but when it overflows, water all over here. And that hence strawberries down the side, and some blueberries. Again, water tanks overflowing. We've got the Subtropical. And this is where we really get into the thick of it. Get right amongst it. That's the Panama berry. Beautiful soft leaves. 5-meter tree with a cherry-like fruit. Keep going. Got more blueberries at the back here. Snake goes dying. Beautiful flowers. Is the cappuccino.
Another blueberry here.
Here. We've got blueberries behind us on the ground, and this is a peach, Florida Gold.
Behind a palmy.
Yeah, palmy's growing into it. And then behind you right here is another peach. It's our own peach. There's the clone you've seen in the video before.
Yep.
Again, if you look directly behind you, you can see the water tank.
You can see the water tank.
Overflow of both those tanks come in, at times, if it's raining enough, cascading down here. Still going, we have mango already established in the corner here. If you check out on the tree stumps along the side, I've put pineapples all along them. They're a bromeliad, so they do well in sun or shade.
Got the fig.
Oh yeah, we're coming back. Oh yeah, we're going around that way. This fig is white Genoa. The other one up the top is the black Genoa fig. This is the white Genoa, smaller but more fruit at times. And then yeah, here's the avocado that chose its place right in the middle of the garden bed. what I thought was a dwarf mandarin, but it's getting taller. It's 5 mandarin on it. Probably needs a prune. Quail are talking to us. Down here, Belle knows, we've got our ladyfinger bananas from the corn and some papayas just killing it. Also because they get so much water off the top of that catchment.
This roof, get heaps of water.
This one is Yarrahapini plum. It's got great red foliage, and it actually is deciduous, so it loses its leaves in the winter time, which is the reason I actually have it on the garden bed here. It gets a load of water from the tanks as well, groundwater, and we water it in the vegetable garden, and the winter sun is all that way. So the winter sun, when we're on this winter garden bed, this tree actually doesn't take any of the sunlight from the garden bed, but in the summertime it acts as a shade over the top. Well, in the future it was a little small now. Again, off to the side as a border, wind protection as well. We've got the pigeon pea. I'll keep them down as more of a hedge. I won't let them go to full potential. The same with the Nagasaki wasi. Wants to turn into a big tree. Like a small citrus fruit. We haven't tasted it yet, but we will. We've got our bay tree. I've just hacked it down. But it's always a sweet smell, great for your curries, stews. Put some in your socks and have a jolly good day. What? Here, still small, it's the acerola cherry, which is ends up being more like a shrub, not a tree, but can be 2 meters wide, 3 meters tall, thereabouts, and also a small cherry-like fruit. We can't grow cherries here, obviously.
And the chooks fertilise this tree at the moment.
And the Nagasaki wasi.
And the Nagasaki wasi over there in the corner.
And it will become a garden bed afterwards.
And it will become a garden bed afterwards.
Obviously the more papayas there, because they're great as a fruit or vegetable. Back to the fig there, we can see.
That's the bottom of the fig.
Here we have galangal. Pretty much doubled in size since we put it in. Again on the garden bed, gets some shade. This is white nectarine, white satin. Put on plenty of growth.
Here we got some more papayas coming along.
This is the pomelo we put in, the Carter's Red. Again, big citrus tree, but doesn't take light off the other garden beds. Definitely not yet anyway. This is a lychee wychee. I think it's a dwarf lychee, but it's growing quite well. There you go, you see. Cute little watermelon. I thought that vine would do nothing. Starting to rain, we might get rained off.
Need to postpone it again?
This is the white chart. Hot chart, what? You can see in there, we've got all our little clones, you know. Here's the kiwis are just killing it. Should we go inside? A little bit more.
So white mulberry, yep.
Again, white mulberry deciduous, so it drops its leaves in the winter time, and in the summertime when it's larger it will even give some shade to the shade house inside to cooling it all down in the summer, but in the winter loses its leaves and doesn't obstruct any light. These are the kiwis Bella put in by seed. Look at them, they're killing it. It's our kiwi arch. Again, turmeric coming along. It likes good water, reasonable heat. It keeps up a steady heat, the shade house as well. It's keeping more, it's got actually garden bed on the other side of it there, so more place for the roots underneath to hold more. Over the back we've got cardamom. Need weed, I'm building another compost pile here. There we go. This is cardamom. Good for your curries, good for desserts. Back here we've got the ginger also, we just grew from root. It's gone alright. But we want a huge ball of ginger eventually. I want to have a ball of ginger like this. And right next to the kiwis we've got the black sapote chocolate pudding fruit. Still yet to taste it, looks fun. So actually a lot of the mess we've got along the side here is there's some millet, but this is asparagus. I'm going to have asparagus all down here. It gets a lot of nutrients from the compost as well, leaching into soil. And we have a baby moringa. It is still there. And we're hopeful. We've had trouble with the moringa, but we're hopeful for this one. Again in the back on this hill, and blackberries along the fence. Yeah. Again, the sun all winter is that way, and in summer it's up here. So we're quite fortunate with the amount of light that we can have on this property, so we're having it tight. Kai knows what that one is. That's a mango. Put that in there by seed.
Was ist das?
Yeah.
Was ist das? It's nass. Oh wait. Mango, put in by seed. Yep.
This is the Majorano mangosteen. It's a type of mangosteen. It's the closest thing we can grow, but it's struggling. We have another passion fruit over here. It actually self-seeded from the other passion fruits, I believe, or rat seeded.
Look, it's not focusing on that.
What do you reckon?
I don't know.
You can see this is our banana circle. It's got the catchment off the chicken shed, as well as chicken shed leaching into the ground. It gets a lot of water here. So we've got the bananas all the way along here, and there was another large tree that was a bit sick, so I cut it down. The old black wattle, I believe. And now I've let that lay as part of the banana circle, because it will sit in the ground holding moisture, water, adding fertility. Yeah, fertility. I don't know why I used that word. And we've also got papayas coming up in the middle, so. Over there. This is the black mulberry, the original one on the property. It needs a real good prune. It hasn't done so well because it really gets very little light for a lot of the year. Not lots of morning light. Obviously next to the chicken shed here we've got the two big macas that were already on the property.
It's no
Whoa.
problem.
A Freudian slip. Up there actually we've got, it's called a G-bung, it's an Aussie native, otherwise named as Snotty Gobble. So yeah, it says a lot about how it is to eat the Snotty Gobble. But here we've got a cherry guava, it's much tastier. Finger limes. I believe this one's pink and this one's green, but this green one's slow, but it has shown some growth recently. A Davidson plum. So I'm not sure about the taste of it, but you see it's also growing well. I need to mulch it again a bit. Again, so this is actually a flood-prone area, but in observing the first year, 2 years, I've seen that the majority of flooding doesn't actually come up past about this point. So you can see that's why I've planted almost on the line, where they may come underwater sometimes, or a low amount, but they have handled it, and they will continue as they get bigger to handle it. And then over here we've got the more ladyfinger bananas. Local banana that we found on the side of the road, and I think it's probably more like a Cavendish. It looks quite regular. I saw them. And then this is the red Dakar banana as well. But that's like the little island. You can see we call it Banana Island because those bananas are doing the best of all on the property. I think in the middle of the creek, great soil, lots of water. We're going to fill that as well. It's a nectarine. I can't remember what. I think it's a yellow nectarine. I'm fairly sure was the one we bought originally. When before we even got to the property, we were in the van still on the way here, and we were enthusiastic. Don't know what's there, but we're getting trees in. The old peach stump, and I've already taken about 3 or 4 clones off this peach. Also a yellow nectarine. This one they call Sun Racer. This is the grapefruit. My nan always told me half a grape, well that's what they always ate, half a grapefruit every day, a little bit of sugar on it sometimes. They're both navel oranges. One we all love. That's the ice cream bean. The apricot. I'm fairly sure it needs a prune. I've really let it down. This one here is the peach cot. Other black Genoa fig is the original one we also had. It's losing its leaves mostly because it's the end of the season. There's another Jaboticaba. I believe there's a small leaf and a big leaf, and the two that we have do look slightly different. People wet. Olive trees not looking happy. Not sure why. There's Mariposa plum. Nice red plum. Pear also needs a little bit of a prune in winter time, and we're yet to see fruit, but I think another few years and yeah, we're looking after him. Cherry guava, yellow. The other one's a red one. It's got some fruit on it.
It's green?
It's the cherry guava green, yeah. Obviously other established macas that were already here. 2 of them going quite well.
2 of them going quite well.
This is a mistake. I love coffee, but again, look at the canopy of trees we've got. I love it, it's magnificent, but with a sunrise over here and a lot of summer and winter sun coming this side, it really doesn't, and trees in front of it here, it really doesn't get enough light to flourish. And then, oh, this is actually trying to go. It's the bush apple. It's put on more growth in the last year than it has in a while, but also slow going, no light. There's also a tiny mango here. And then here we've got 3 riverside pecans, which also have potential to take, like, yeah, get really big, add a lot of shade. They will get some flooding in years, but they're actually from floodplains, and pecans, it's a riverside pecan for that reason. So as long as they establish for the first 2 years or 3 years and they don't get a mega flood like last year, I think we're alright. This one is sandpaper fig. It's also native, but well, native I love it, but it's not the tastiest obviously. Either of the lily pillies up here. This is a bright purple lily pilly, and this one back here is whiter lily pilly. Yeah, edible, but not the finest flavour. and the arrowroot just growing everywhere.
This one is the original bunch. Here's another maca. We've got another one, sorry. This one, and here's the original one.
A whole long piece of bamboo just sitting in the middle of that hibiscus. It runs all the way up the side of the house. And so yeah, that's the classic passion fruit you know and love. We've got plenty of it. It went well. And then this is another one that seems to have come on, or comes on straight after the other into season. This one's a little bit different. Oh, that's ready. Oh, just about. They're ripe when they're still on the vine. Just has to have that brown tinge to it. And more papayas trying to escape the passion fruit. The passion fruit just growing over top of them. The papayas want to push up and around into the light, and I hope they do. Stuck into the tree just because I'm a kid. And some self-seeded lettuce seeds that actually just fell on its own. And
coming along. Dragon fruit?
Dragon fruit, yeah. There's this is the guava, obviously, produces amazingly. Again, pigeon pea in the middle, and that's all sweet potato. There's some weeds in there as well, a little bit. More pigeon peas here. More pigeon peas along here, which I'll keep even shorter, and a feijoa coming over the back.
There's the feijoa.
And you can see a choco in the tree. I'm going to get far down.
Also like a little cherry. This is the Gramichima. Well, this was it for this week. I hope you stayed this all the way through. Now, thanks so much for explaining it to us, our great permaculture teacher. Yeah, so see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe.